All right, welcome to episode 17 of Retrotopia, podcast where Sam and I talk about the games that we probably missed in our youth, but get to play now. Sam?
I definitely missed this one. This week we're talking about Punch-Out for the Nintendo Entertainment System, or as it was formerly known, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Till he did some no-no stuff.
No, I think it was just a licensing thing. I think he's okay, at this point at least.
Well, he paid 10 grand or something like that to get his name on the boxing game. And yeah, the license ran out, but it didn't help that he was convicted of rape at the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he did no-no things, but I don't think the no-no things were related directly to his name being removed from the game.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't help him,
Didn't help
get that license back. Yeah.
They didn't want to renew it.
And Nintendo draws a line everywhere except for a rapist? I don't think so.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so, well, it's been about a week since we last talked, so what's been going on in your life?
Not too much. Just keeping up, trying to keep up with everything here. How about you?
It's been kind of a quiet weekend, or a quiet week altogether, so just finishing off assignments and playing video games. That's about it.
Nice. Did you have today off? Today, I think, was it's President's Day here in the United States, and I think it was Family Day or something in Canada.
Some provinces have Family Day up here in Canada, and when I worked for the government, we didn't get it because it's a provincial holiday. But so for the first time in my life, I actually got to take the day off, which just happens to coincide with the day I don't have classes.
Hell yeah! You watched the Leafs and everything when they were on.
I watched the Leafs just absolutely decimate your Ducks.
Oh, but they were on earlier today.
Oh, were they? I missed that. Oh,
yeah,
man, I thought they were on later.
Yeah, it was weird. There were hockey games on all day today, and I was at work today, and I went down to the cafeteria, and there was Leafs Blues was on one of the TVs, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's the middle of the day on a Monday.
Yeah, that's not hockey. That's football or baseball.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I missed. Fuck. Looks like I'm gonna have to catch the highlights. Actually, I got Sportsnet Plus, which is our sports network up here. I can just rewatch it, and I don't know the score, so.
That's cool. It's
I can still be right. Yeah, I can be pleasantly surprised and not have to listen to those cackling hens in the middle of the periods, or in between periods there.
Oh yeah.
Austin Matthews is on his path to be the greatest friggin' player in the history of the hockey game. Shut up.
That's your guy, though.
It's just. That's all they talk about. It's who gives a fuck anymore?
Yeah.
Even Austin Matthews doesn't react when he scores a goal. That's how little of a fuck he gives.
Yeah. It was, I think at this point, the thrill for him is going to be actually winning a cup. And it's there's only so many goals you can score.
Yeah, that's the only trophy he has left, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Man. Well, that's great. So, yeah, this week we got Punch-Out, so should we work our way towards it?
Yeah, let's do that. And then we have some comments. We have some comments from the listeners this week, some questions. So let's get to that. Brian, you want to take the first one there?
Yeah, I'll take the old Unbuckled Cape. As of Friday the 13th, says Unbuckled Cape, you have about 13 creepy fan-suggested games pinned up in the Discord glaring at yous. So the burning question is, what are you waiting for? Pitter-patter. And the answer to that is they are slowly coming on the list. We have a couple coming up in the next month or two. So they're slowly trickling out.
Yep. And if any of them are anything like the game that should not be named, we will parse those out over time.
Yeah. Except for I don't know what the game that should not be named is. Should have talked about that offline.
Oh no, that's Animaniacs.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well,
but I just named it now.
There you go. So the game that shall be named, which is fantastic because that'll lead us into the second comment.
Yeah, this is our new friend DePokes from Discord. Of the games you've played so far, I have two questions. Which one would you never play again? We know Sam's answer. Yes, you do. And if you got stuck in a loop and could only play one game for the rest of forever, which game would you pick? I like this question, but I'm gonna let you take it too.
But are we going to go with games we done for the podcast in the first 16 episodes, or
Of
games
the
of all
games
time.
I'm interpreting that as of the games we've played so far from the podcast. Which one would you never play again? I can answer that both ways. Animaniacs is my number one right now that I would never play again, and then also a game that I've played that is so awful and I won't even play it again for the podcast is Superman 64. That game sucks. It's the worst. It's like not even a finished game.
Yeah, that's a good answer, but I'll go both as well. The one for the podcast and the one of all time. I'm going to go for the podcast. Ren and Stimpy's Invention. It was just brutally awful, and it just squeaks out Desert and Jungle Strike. Game I won't play of all time. Oh, I know it's in there. So you said Superman 64. That's all I can think of now.
Yeah, it's so bad that it's just like it's like a oh man. It's like an infection. Now that I mentioned it, you can't not think about how bad it is.
Yeah, it's a train wreck on top of a plane crash on top of a traffic jam.
Ugh.
You
not
know
even
what?
Superman can save you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that because all I can think is Superman 64 now, so that's gonna have to be my answer. But what's your second question? What's the one you'd play forever?
Stuck on a loop and would play forever.
Again, do both the podcast and then outside the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's interesting because I don't know. From the podcast, I don't know because I don't know that. I think I would take Final Fantasy 3 of the games and it's not been recorded yet, the episode, but I did play it for the podcast and finished it. So Final Fantasy 3 because it's a good game. It's a good RPG and it's a long grinder, so I'll get a lot of mileage out of it. And then all time, that's a tough one. I want to say one of the Pokemon games, one of the original Pokemon games, because I could just play that whenever and I would feel good about it. Otherwise, like a good, like one of those never ending type of like simulator games, like a Stardew Valley or something, even though I haven't played that much of it yet, but like, it's good to like have that game that gets you in that, like an infinite loop. Yeah.
Yeah. Stardew Valley's, just a time sink. Just when you get into it, it gets so good.
Yeah. It's gotta be one of those two, but probably Pokemon.
For me, the games we played, I'd go Super Mario RPG for sure, because let's be honest, it's Super Mario RPG, and I love that game. Although Final Fantasy 3 was a close second. For games that aren't, and this might surprise some of you, it's going to be Final Fantasy 6.
Huh.
Because I could play that game forever.
Me.
Yeah, because everybody expects the Chrono Trigger answer, but I can dream that game. I've played it so often.
That's true.
But no, Final Fantasy 6 would be my answer for the game.
Awesome. Well, great questions. And yeah, keep submitting those every week. Those are fun to read.
Oh yeah, and fun to try to answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that one all day, trying to figure out it's a hard question to like in that scenario would.
Yeah, and all I can think of is how bad Superman 64 is now. Like that's just the only thing that's in my brain is just remembering how god awful that game is.
Yeah, I rented that once over a weekend, and it was like I just remember how bad even the, because there's that first. I don't know if it was a tutorial or just a first level where you're flying through those rings.
Yeah, and it's doable, but it's damn near impossible.
Right, and then the city looks like absolute trash.
Yeah, you don't even want to save it. You don't want to be Superman. You just want the city to die.
Yeah, like can we just we can just let this city die? I'm not going to save anyone here. This sucks.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I think it's time we move on.
Yeah, what are you playing this week?
Me? Well, I finished Final Fantasy 3. Well, I didn't finish it, but it was a replay through, and I used the boost system to kind of speed it up because I played it, summer last year. So when it came out for the Pixel Remaster, and I just need to remind myself of the story because we're talking about it next week. So I just kind of like goosed my way through the game. Right. Other than that, I've been trickling away at Breath of Fire 2, and I've been playing some indie games like Celeste, and I'm going to start Journey here soon.
Ooh, interesting. I look forward to hearing about those for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for me, I also finished up on Final Fantasy 3 and also took advantage of the boost that they added to the Pixel remaster. And we'll talk about the difficulty spike a little bit at the end of that game, but I really did enjoy it.
All dragoons, baby.
All dragoons, all dragoons, all the time. Uh, let's see, and then also I started playing for an upcoming episode Castlevania Dracula X.
Oof.
Or I think I've seen, was that called Vampire's Kiss? I'll have to look that up. But when you look in the gallery on the Castlevania Advance Collection, the gallery for like the Dracula X stuff says Vampire's Kiss, and that's a pretty cool name.
Okay, so I bought the Castlevania collection. I didn't see Dracula X on it, so it's named differently. Yeah.
No, it's there's the Castlevania collection and there's the Castlevania Advance Collection. There's two.
Oh, awesome! So I bought the wrong one.
That's like me and Mario Party. If you know,
looks
you
like
know.
we're
Now I
going
have both Mario
emulating
Parties.
again.
Yeah. But what else? There was one more. Just been farting around in Stardew Valley a little bit.
It's a fun game.
Kind of why it was on my brain. Yeah, and I thought for a bit, like the first couple of sessions I played, I was like, this sucks. He walks so slow. And then I realized that you use the joystick instead of the D-pad, and then they run. So crisis averted, because I might not have had any patience for walking.
Yeah, are you like me where once you get into an old pixel graphics game there, you automatically go to the D-pad?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I was like, I'm going to use the D-pad because that's what feels natural for this look and feel. But nope. Use a joystick, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, the whole game itself is just, I love it. I'm not a big farming, like I'm not into Harvest Moon or anything like that, but this game just kind of combines the dungeon crawling, the Harvest Moon aspect, and then, the dating simulator very well.
Yeah, I did. I've played it a little bit before, and I did enjoy going into the cave and mining and like killing little monsters and stuff.
And mining rocks endlessly.
Mining rocks.
Oh, so you can make a sprinkler so you don't have to spend every day watering your garden.
Yeah, one of the recent days that I was playing, it was raining. I was like, yes.
Yeah. It's a dungeon crawling day, but that's the day you have your sword in the shop, right?
No, I don't have a sword yet. I got to go get it. I was focusing on like, I'm going to actually do the farming part of it. And I was like, I should go get a sword and go kill some monsters.
Lately, I've been doing the fishing part of it.
The fishing, when I played it before for a little bit, really, I just did not click with me. So I got to try the fishing again.
All right. Well, we're not doing a Stardew Valley podcast today. Like, we got right into that. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's how good of a game it is.
Yeah, it is a very good game.
Like, for a second there, I kind of completely forgot what we were doing. I thought we were just having a conversation.
Yeah, we need to talk about punching.
Yes. Let's get angry.
All right. So yeah, before we get into our game chat, I believe it's me this week. I will talk to you all of us a little bit about this game. Punch-Out! Originally an arcade machine released in 1984, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Released in 1987 for the Nintendo Entertainment System by Nintendo, is a celebrated classic. Developed by Nintendo R&D 3 Division and directed by Genyo Takeda, the game features Little Mac, an ambitious but diminutive boxer striving to become World Video Boxing Association champion. Players engage in a series of challenging matches, honing their skills in pattern recognition and precise timing. The game's memorable cast of characters, from the comically inept Glass Joe to the formidable Mike Tyson, contributes to its enduring charm. Each opponent presents unique challenges, adding depth to the gameplay. Bull Charge, Great Tiger, and King Hippo are just some adversaries that showcase diverse personalities and fighting styles. Including Mike Tyson, a real-world sports legend, added significant marketing appeal to the game. The climactic showdown with Tyson, known for its formidable difficulty, became an iconic gaming moment. Players had to master Tyson's aggressive attack patterns to claim victory and secure the title of undisputed champion. Developed by Nintendo's seasoned team, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out received critical acclaim for its engaging gameplay, memorable characters, and the unique incorporation of a renowned athlete. The game's success led to re-releases on subsequent Nintendo platforms, solidifying its status as a cultural touchstone. However, due to licensing issues and controversies surrounding Mike Tyson, later versions replaced Tyson with a fictional character named Mr. Dream. The controversy that arose around Mike Tyson's were his legal troubles, including a highly publicized rape conviction in 1992. This removed Tyson's likeness from subsequent releases, impacting the game's legacy. Despite these changes, the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out remains a beloved and challenging classic, celebrated by gamers and nostalgists alike for its enduring impact on the gaming industry and its association with a significant period in sports history.
All right, thank you for that, Sam. That was very beautiful. I'm definitely not just pausing for 3 seconds to create a blank. But before we get into the actual episode, we got a few comments in the Discord there, and I'm going to let you take it or take us. God, words hard. I'm going to let you take it away there, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. First, we have Zodiac, who is Chris from the Retro Hangover podcast. So give them a listen because they are awesome. Let's see. And Chris says, or Zodiac says, is it an action game, a rhythm game? Who cares? It's one of the best games on the NES, and it's held up extremely well. Sure, the enemies can seem as tad offensive, yes, but they'll get over that as they beat you mercilessly for laughing at them until you get their patter down. Love this game. I do too, and maybe that's why I was so bad at it. Is that it is kind of a rhythm game.
Yeah, everybody has their little quirk there. Once you figure it out, they become a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Finally, Raging Demon, our friend from Down Under, says, I never played this, but I can state on record that this is a game that exists on a suboptimal console of the time. Praise to Saturn and its forerunner, the master of systems, the Master System, the better 8-bit console. Well said, and you are absolutely correct. The rhythm fighting of this game is just outstanding and can't be beat on anything Sega's ever done.
Right. And actually, Raging Demon, this is kind of a fighting game, so everyone go listen to the command list also. But that's Raging Demon's podcast that is, I believe, primarily about fighting games. So you should cover this on command list because it's a fighting game, kind of.
If you love listening to Aussies talk about fighting, then this is perfect for you.
That reminds me of that South Park where they were like following Russell Crowe around. He's like, he loves to fight.
Oh, that jingle. Fuck. Oh, man. I'm going to note. If I can find that jingle, it's going in here.
Yeah. Throw it in.
Born in New Zealand in 64, a hot-headed actor named Russell Crowe. He loves to act, but he loves one thing more, fighting round the world.
Anyways, let's start the discussion. So, why this game? That's what we always seem to start with.
Yeah, why this game? Why indeed? I think we both kind of picked it when we were talking about, what games we should cover in the first few episodes. It's a classic. I did not play it as a child, so I don't have very much experience with it. Do you?
This is one of the games I had for my original Nintendo when I was a kid, and it seems kind of weird because I was never allowed to watch actual boxing, but buying a boxing game was an okay Christmas present, I guess.
That's kind of weird. You weren't allowed to. I mean, I didn't really watch boxing either, but because I didn't want to, not because I couldn't.
Well, we weren't allowed to watch boxing, wrestling, and MMA didn't exist at the time. So it's just my boomer parents didn't like me getting all violent. I should have seen what happened when a titty popped on screen. Ooh, my dad.
That was okay because it's not fighting.
Oh. No, my dad tried to embarrass us because he'd just be like, "Oh, boobies!" Whoa, and we'd just walk out of the room
to make like a huge deal about it.
Yeah, childhood. No, this my history with the game is just I've always had a copy of it until I sold my Nintendo games there, and I had the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and the regular Punch-Out. I don't know why I had to have both, but I just had to.
Oh wow!
And if I ever get it again,
yeah.
Go on.
I didn't look this up, but like, what does a copy of like the Mike Tyson version go for? Because I'm sure it's like pretty pricey.
Well, you wax poetic here for a minute, and I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out too. Let's look at.
Well, I'm just looking here. Loose price is $27. 40. Oh no, that's the Famicom version. Oh, North American version. Loose cartridge goes for $40. Complete and box goes for $268, and a completely new copy goes for $5,500.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm surprised that even the loose cart isn't a little bit pricier, because like the Punch Out version, or the Mike Tyson's Punch Out version, was the original from, I think it came out in 1987, didn't it? And so
Yeah.
that was
Well,
the
even before
version
that, I
until yeah.
believe this was an arcade as well
Yeah.
back in 1983.
Yeah, and then they threw Mike Tyson in there, and that was a nice marketing piece, but yeah, that's just interesting. I would think that would go for
Yeah, but
more.
you can find copies of this loose everywhere. Like any used video game store you go to that sells this kind of stuff will have at least 1 to 10 copies of Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that is 3 years of, a very popular game. So it was probably
Yeah.
produced, like a ton of copies were produced. Yeah, I guess.
Well, at least
Um,
4.
At least 4. um, yeah, I was probably yesterday years old when I first played this game. I guess you could say, like I played it probably for the first time when it first popped up on the Switch Online. I played around with it a little bit, but I don't really have any history with it, so I'm very terrible at it.
Yeah, no, it's one of those games you just repeat over and over and over again. When you learn the tricks, I mean, like I said, it becomes satisfying to actually beat the boxers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that
one of the
being said,
weirdest parts is I've never played a Punch Out since.
yeah, I obviously I haven't either, because I didn't play
Yeah.
the first one, but yeah, there's one there, obviously the Super Nintendo one, and then there's one on the Wii, right?
Yeah.
That might actually be kind of fun, because did that use the motion controls, or was that just
Oh, of course it used the motion controls. Everything used the motion controls on that Wii.
fantastic?
Yeah, it was fun until it wasn't.
I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I probably would too.
But yeah, it's a very fun game. I could see, if I had hung on to the Nintendo, when I was a younger kid, and had more games for it, I think this would have been a fun one to play around with for sure. I could see
Somehow
I could see the appeal of playing
yeah.
through it. Yeah.
This would have snaked into your collection somehow. You wouldn't have known how it got there, but it would have just shown up one day.
Just Mike Tyson.
Yeah, everybody had it.
Yeah, it's a great game. I'm excited to get into it. So unless you have any other anecdotes, like did you like fuck up your brother's playthrough or
No, there's no save file on this one, so he was
Yeah.
safe. So he could just write his passwords in his journal and lock it on me.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, did you like throw his journal away or something where he had his passwords
Probably.
written
Like
down?
that'd be something I'd do, right?
Yeah.
He still won't let it go that I destroyed his both his Final Fantasy IV save file and his SimCity save file.
I wouldn't
It was
either.
That was fucking adorable. All right, so in the story and the plot in this game is very simple. You are Little Mac, and you have your trainer, Doc Lewis. And as Little Mac, you want to win the World Video Boxing Association title, or the WVBA title.
Yeah, and he is so scrawny.
There's
Mac.
a reason for that. He was actually made that size because they didn't want something taking up the whole screen. And obviously, see-through graphics weren't designed at the time, so they made him Little Mac so that you could see over top of him.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because he's just, I guess that gives kind of a charm to the game too, is that you're this like scrawny little upstart.
Oh yeah, super underdog.
Yeah.
And Doc Lewis there, just the classic black trainer there who's standing around cheering you on and riding the bike as you run through between the different circuits.
I like those. Yeah, those interlude scenes are so funny because it's clearly Rocky inspired.
Yeah.
Running through the town or whatever, and the music is awesome.
It's great. It's just like there's just some classic sound bits in this game.
Yeah, it's great. I like that. I like those in between. It's like kind of, you've got 3 fights, at least in the first circuit, and then 4 in the second. But it's like a nice little breather in between those two to watch the little scene of him jogging.
And it kind of lets you know too that you're about to jump in difficulty a little bit.
Yeah. It's well done.
Yeah, but let's get into the different circuits and the boxers here. Starting with the minor circuit, and the first person you fight, good old Glass Joe.
Glass Joe.
Like one punch knocks him out.
Wait, I I'm so bad at this game. I didn't know that. Obviously, there's a weak point built in where you can just punch him and knock him out in one, and it makes sense because Glass Joe sounds a lot like
Yeah.
Glass Jaw, right?
Yeah, what you have to do is you got to knock a star out of him, and the star is what gives you the uppercut in the game. So
Okay.
he'll sit there and he'll just like posture for a bit, and you can just jab him, and a star will pop up. And then when he goes to do anything, like he throw his punch, he pauses for so long that you can actually hit him with the uppercut. And if you do it at the right time, it'll knock him back, and he won't be able to get up. And the whole fight lasts like 12 seconds.
Oh, that's awesome. That's probably that's a key start for a speed run, right?
Yeah. But if you don't do it and you start punching him, you can punch him like as long as you have the rhythm down, you can punch him forever until he gets knocked down. So he's not a hard one. He gets you used to the kind of the combat of the game.
Yeah, you want to know something funny though?
Go on.
When I first started playing it last week, Glass Joe beat me.
It's like dying on the first Goomba in 1-1.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand the rhythm of it, and I'm bad at rhythm games to start with, but it's like, fuck off, Glass Joe. Like, I know I'm supposed to beat you like really easily.
Yeah, he's supposed to make you build up your confidence there. Jesus, man.
Yeah, not that time.
Nope.
I built up his confidence.
All right, so after 6 attempts, when Sam finally beats Glass Joe, you move on to the second guy, Von Kaiser. He's a generic boxer, nothing special about him. He has his special move, of course, but reality is he just is a straight up fight. All the minor circuit guys are pretty much just to get you warmed up for the harder fights.
Yeah, I liked his tell. Did he? Because each of them have a little quirk or something that they do before they punch. Wasn't his is something to do with his mustache, isn't it?
Yeah, he either twirls it or it like bounces. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like his mustache like wiggles a little bit and then he punches.
And that is the thing, is everybody does have the tell.
I do like that. And then they'll show you when they're still in their corner when the fight starts. They'll do something like this next one up, Piston Honda, which is a funny automobile reference.
Yes.
He is up in the corner, and his tell is that his eyebrows like go up and down really quick, and so he'll do that up in the corner before he comes down, and so like you'll know, watch out when he does this.
Yeah, and he goes up in the corner and he bounces down and just starts launching jabs, right?
Yeah, so he has that. Piston Honda is the first one that's really got a quote unquote special attack that is tough to, or potentially tough to avoid. So he's got like just these repeated jabs like a piston, but that one I just kind of had to outlast him because I didn't figure out quite how to block that.
Well, he's another one that you can do a instant knockdown on him when he goes up into the corner there and he comes down to punch at you. If you hit him with an uppercut at the right time, you'll knock him down.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't I try that? Or I thought I did, but must not have been the right time.
Yeah, it's all about the timing. But anything left on Piston Honda? We're going to circle back to him. He's one of the few that comes back for a second round.
Yeah, that I didn't get to because I didn't get past the major circuit. Spoiler alert. So that was the minor circuit. Oh my
god. Yeah, so that's the minor circuit.
Yeah, I got past those first three. And then this next guy, Don Flamenco, was pretty easy because I figured out that you could punch him and then he does this little like flamenco move and then tries to do an uppercut. But once he does that and you dodge and you punch him, if he's done that little flamenco move, you can punch him as many times as you want.
As long as you have the rhythm down. If you break the rhythm, like if you stutter a little bit, it'll break the flow. And
then I guess punching. I had good rhythm once.
Yes. It's good to know. You should hear this man singing the shower ladies.
Yeah. Who, me?
Yes, you. It's divine. Just look up the cameras next time.
But yeah, it's like a left, right, left, right, left, right. As long as you don't break from that rhythm, then you can just punch him until his meter is all the way down.
You can knock him down 3 times in the round. Like that's the other thing is you got to knock him down 3 times for the TKO, or you got to hit him with the instant kill, I guess it would be called, for knocking them down once. Further on the fight goes, the less likely they are to stand up. But if you knock them down 3 times in a round, you win the fight. And for him, you have to hit him with an uppercut at the right time. Again, same thing. It's I think it's when he does that under like his own little fancy uppercut.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you hit him at the right time there, you'll knock him down, and it'll kind of speed it up. I don't think it's an instant kill. It's just kind of a quick knockdown.
Yeah, he's got like I think when he does his flamenco move, he does like a left uppercut, right uppercut, left uppercut, right uppercut. You can dodge him pretty easily, but that's when like as soon as they do, one of the uppercuts, they leave themselves open for a regular punch. And then you can punch him high. But yeah, it sounds like you can sneak a punch in there and knock him out. But damned if I could figure it out.
No. He was he was simple enough to beat the normal way that I never actually went for it.
Yeah, it's again like that's the cool part about this game is that with repetition, obviously there's a password system, which is cool, but so you could skip ahead to the fights that you want to do. But there's always seems like there's little nuances hidden in these fights that you would only find if you've played it a bunch of times.
Yeah. And that's kind of a neat thing. And I got a little Easter egg section at the end before we wrap up. So a few things I found online.
Cool.
Yeah, but moving on is to my favorite of the opponents is King Hippo.
I did like King Hippo, although this is where I started to like have trouble because I could not figure out for the longest time how to actually hit this guy, and it was driving me nuts.
Yeah, because his whole thing is you have to dodge his punch there and then just smoke him in the X on the stomach because he's taped off his belly button.
Yep, he drops his pants.
But for him, the instant knockout trick is you avoid his ear clap, then you counter with an uppercut when his mouth is wide open. It'll knock him down.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and when he's down, he doesn't get back up because he's a big old fatty like me.
Yeah, well, I like that. The bigger they are, like the bigger they are, the harder they fall, or whatever. So he goes down, and then I actually, the first time I knocked him down, he just didn't get back up after a 10 count.
Yeah.
Okay,
which makes him that's pretty normal. Once you get him down, he tends not to get back up.
Yeah, but did you notice that? So Mario is the referee, and he comes in and he counts. Like he goes, obviously 1 through 10, and then once he gets to 9, it seems like there's a longer pause for 10.
Oh, I think there is, and it's to build up that tension to see if you actually get the knockout.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, why don't you give him an extra 10 seconds to, what are you waiting for? Say 10, damn it.
Yeah. Well, Mario wasn't even allowed to be in the game originally, so.
Yeah, he's a bad counter. He needs to go play one of his educational PC games.
Let's call him Luigi.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on. Next one is one of our fine Indian fighters, the Great Tiger.
Yeah, this guy was pretty tough.
He was. He does that. His little jewel and his turban blinks, and then he like phases around in a circle around the ring, and then he throws a punch when he lands, and you just kind of got to dodge it. But
well, so I found I was able to counteract that teleportation weird thing that he does. It's like a circle, and when he comes down to the bottom of the circle, he hits you. I would press the down and B to do a block. And if you time it right, you can like block as he comes down. And then when he comes out of that circle, he's dizzy. And if you're not too tired, because you can get tired where your little Mac turns pink and you can't punch, but you can still dodge. What?
Your little Mac turns pink. If he tires out. All right, 17, and we still haven't made it.
So when your little Mac turns pink, you can't punch. And so I never got it to where when Great Tiger was dizzy, I was actually able to punch him. But apparently, if you punch him when he's dizzy like that, it's a knockout.
But you got to use the jab or an uppercut. Yeah, that's what I got written here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the instant kill too. So
yeah, but don't tire out your little Mac.
if your little Mac is a little tired from the beating it's just taken, anyways, let's move on to the next guy, because the next guy is totally not penis related. He is named the Bald Bull.
I did not get to the Bald Bull. I ended my play. I could not get the timing down on Great Tiger, so that's where I ended. But yeah, Great Bald Bull. It looked pretty standard, but then I have a hard time gauging how difficult a fight is when I'm watching a playthrough, because I'm sure I would get my ass kicked.
This guy's not too bad. Like, he telegraphs everything, obviously, like they all do, but he does this bull charge. So he goes to the back of the ring and, he do, and he throws an uppercut, and you just kind of time the dodge. But if you hit him just as he's about to do the uppercut, you get your instant knockdown.
That's what I saw. Yeah, on the playthrough, he goes back and he's like running up to charge, and then you just punch him and he goes down.
Yeah. And then he'll get back up, but if you do it in, I think, oh no, it's a later fight, because he's another guy that comes back. Yeah. When you fight him later, the same thing will be an instant knockout.
Yeah, I thought those instant knockouts were really cool. Being able to actually see them watching a playthrough was
not being able to do them yourself.
Yeah, otherwise I'm like mercilessly just punching the shit out of Glass Joe when you can just punch him once and be done with it.
Yeah. All right, that's the major circuit done. So you got 2 belts now. I mean, I don't know how many pairs of pants little Mac owns, but he has belts for at least 2 of them.
Yeah, and they won't fall down like King Hippo, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So now you're into the world circuit. Now this is actually the final belt before you get to the big fight, and you have 6 opponents here, and 3 of them are rematches of people you've already seen. So the first one is Piston Honda again. So he doesn't really do that much different.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they harder? Are they faster?
Yeah, they add some moves. Like, they use their regular moves, and then like this one, he'll throw some quick left jabs, and like they're a little bit faster than they were the first time, and then a fake right uppercut.
Okay.
And yeah, just everything else applies. Like, if you want to knock him out pretty fast, it's the same way. You just have to be a little bit quicker.
Okay. Yeah, this just kind of adds. I mean, Piston Honda, Bald Bull, and Don Flamenco are the repeats, but it just kind of adds a little bit more length to the game.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, obviously, you only have so much room on a Nintendo cartridge, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on the rematches. So we'll go next on to Soda Popinski, the Russian.
The Russian, Soda Popinski. How far in this game do you get when you play?
I've beaten the game before. If I play currently, I can probably make it to about this point, and that's where I kind of tap out.
Okay. So you have gotten through all. Wow, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets very difficult looking.
Yeah, we're talking when I had the focus of a kid with no bills to pay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I mean, I'm punching Great Tiger here, and I'm like, but I gotta go to work tomorrow, and then and then I get distracted, and he punches me. So
yeah, that's the big thing. Is you're sitting there getting your ass beat. Your little Mac is being beaten off, and you're worried about tax season coming up.
Yep, and then my little Mac turns pink.
Exactly. But Soda Popinski here, he has a few moves. He has a left hook, the uppercut. He has a sporadic jab, which is just basically a quick jab.
Yep.
Then he has a triple trotting jab. So takes 3 steps, and then he fires off 3 short jabs.
Yeah, he does that like little footwork thing that boxers do. Yeah.
He's all boxing, baby. You can instant knock him down by landing an uppercut after he throws an uppercut.
Okay, nice. Yeah, these boxers in the world circuit are definitely more, I would say, boxer looking than cartoon caricature looking. It's not, goofy stereotypes and, whatever, it's just, Soda Popinski does actual boxer things, even though it is kind of a cartoonish game. He's, my understanding, pretty tough.
Yeah, he is. And I guess I wouldn't call him famously tough, but I've heard people complain about him before.
Yeah.
But anything left on Soda Popinski?
Nope, didn't fight him.
Yeah, there you go. All right, next is a rematch with, again, Bald Bull. He's just a lot faster. That's pretty much his gimmick there. And then so I'm not going to get into him because you're going to move on to Don Flamenco. Same thing. He's pretty much the same, but he's a lot faster again. So, just get good.
Get good.
Yeah, then you go on to your second to last one, which is Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman, sing me a dream.
I just thought of that too.
Yeah, every time I say his name, that's all I can think of. But yeah, he has a jab, a hook, an uppercut, and then something called a razor uppercut.
Ooh.
He stays away, then he moves forward suddenly, throwing 3 fast uppercuts. Can't punch him after the third one if... Womack cannot punch him after the third one if any hit him. I don't have no idea what that means. Times you gotta clarify what you write. Anyway,
he's a pretty big dude, Mr. Sandman. I don't understand what the reason for it is. It's not like he puts you to sleep or
maybe yeah. Well, that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he's a tough fight, but learn his patterns and then you just take him out. There's no instant knockdown or instant knockout with him, so you just got to beat him the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
And anything to say on Mr. Sandman?
Nope, didn't fight him.
Want to sing us a jingle?
Like, couldn't get that far.
Don't want to sing us the jingle?
No, I'm good.
All right. So finally, and I have kind of conflicting information on this one. Super Macho Man, who I know I've fought before, but it says in some of my notes that you have to be 27-0 to fight him. So
27-0.
Yeah, there's not even 27 fights. You'd have to play the game a few times over.
Well, yeah. What would it be? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Not even close.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It's like 12 fights before you get to him.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Anyways, basically, Super Macho Man is not Randy the Macho Man Savage. This is a weird-looking guy.
Yeah, and here's our weekly boob talk before he before he gets in the ring with you, or he's like up in his corner, is like his pecs. He does his like little peck.
The Terry Crew dance.
Yeah, I posted a little clip of it in the Discord because I was like, of course, we got boob jiggles.
Yeah, it's a great safe space for everybody to show up. We swear.
Yeah. Join our Discord. Talk about boobs.
Yeah, or don't.
No, that's.
We just alienated 50% of the population.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah, way to be, Sam. Way to be.
Okay, fine. Don't talk about boobs. We don't talk about boobs at all. We are anti-boob.
Hey, let's not go too far the other way.
Yeah.
But going back to Super Boob Man, he has a couple of moves, a hook, an uppercut. He has a spin punch where he stands still for a moment, then he spins around and punches. And then a super spin punch.
Yeah, this is one for sure where if I had gotten to this point, I think he would have done me in with this spin punch. This looks exactly like something that would take me forever to try to figure out how to counter it, or what to do to block it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a challenging foe. And again, no instant knockouts, no instant knockdowns. You have to take him old-fashioned way and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, those looked like really long fights.
And there's very often on these fights, you'll probably end up in to the end of the fight for a decision there, and you have to just hope that you've done enough to win the decision.
Yeah, there's those bigger fighters, starting with definitely what's his name? King Hippo for sure. Those punches that they throw, if they land on you, it's taking like a third of your meter.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
if you get knocked down, you're not getting back up.
yeah, 1 or 2 punches and your meter is down, and that's not a great way to start a fight.
Nope. No, it is not. But all right, let's move on. You've just finished the world circuit. You've now have your third belt, so you can go buy another pair of pants. Now
Yep.
you're on to the dream fight for the final belt. And there's 2 opponents out of 2 games. So the first one is Mike Tyson. Obviously, he's the original. And then after all the stuff happened where Mike Tyson disappeared for whatever reason, you have Mr. Dream, and they fight exactly the same, but it kind of gets a little FU to Mike Tyson as they made Mr. Dream's record a little bit better.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Those bastards.
I don't know if it's an actual FU to them or just like they're like, oh, yeah, you don't want to pay money to be in our game anymore.
Yeah. You have to pay. I love that. It's like you have to pay us for us to use your name and likeness. That's not how.
Yeah, well, apparently that does. But
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's like damn hard. Like if you beat him, it's probably a once in your lifetime sort of thing. That or Mr. Dream, of course.
Interesting. Yeah. I just obviously did not get that far. So I did not have the experience of even getting to challenge Mike Tyson.
Yeah, well, if Mike Tyson hits you with a punch, it's pretty much a knockdown. Like his uppercut is an instant knockdown on you.
Jeez.
If he throws a hook, he's going to knock off like half to 3/4 of your health bar. A jab will probably knock off half your health bar. And then he does this hook where he blinks fast, and then he throws multiple hooks at you. So take those, and you're pretty much going down. But if you can dodge him, is the only time is after you dodge him is you give him like one punch there, and then hope to hell he doesn't beat the crap out of you.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, you have to be on your game 100%, no room for error. Basically, he gets in there and punches you, and you're kind of toast. It sounds like.
In my notes, I do have something that says there is an instant knockdown on him, but he's doing the blinking thing, and it's pretty fast. If you hit him at the exact right time, it's an instant knockdown.
Jeez,
Yeah,
man, imagine like getting that, but like kind of. I'm sure it's happened as a fluke.
Well, I have a feeling speedrunners would probably use that to kind of finish him off pretty quick.
Oh yeah, to your advantage. But like if you're just a kid playing this game and you get this far, like I'm sure some people happened on it accidentally and were like, whoa, and then could not replicate the success ever again.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the bitch of the game, isn't it? Yeah, so that's everybody. Now you have all 4 belts and you have 4 pairs of pants, and obviously the purse must be big enough to afford all 4 pairs of pants.
Yep.
Cartwrights. Or Carhartt, sorry.
Cartwrights.
Those like
Lisa Simpson?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at those pants like fuck. I get the ones that are meant for like construction workers. They look pretty good quality, but watching a person walk around with $200 pair of pants that they don't need just kind of baffles me.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Speaking of which, my dogs have like little Carhartt jackets when it's cold.
Jesus Christ.
Because they're hardworking. It has pockets too. You can stick little things in their pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. Your dogs are swank. Dogs are pure sex, baby.
Yeah.
Oh God, my dog has a collar that lights up.
Oh, those are important for outside in the nighttime.
Oh yeah, especially with all the bunnies that come in our backyard. It lets the bunnies know where the dog is. She's eaten 2 already.
Mine announce themselves. They could probably sneak up if they would just shut up.
Yeah, you got beagles though. You got like little buglers.
Yeah, they scream right out the door when there's a rabbit outside. It's very crazy sounds that they make. It's like you're announcing yourselves. You could catch a rabbit if you'd stop.
They're delicious. Speaking of rabbits, you want to get into the Easter eggs?
Yes.
All right, so I knew there was some stuff about this game that was recently discovered, and I figured I'd do a deep dive and try to find some more stuff. So one of the things we didn't mention before I get into it is between rounds, if you continuously like press select, like multi-tap it, you'll actually regain some health in between rounds, so it kind of helps you out.
Man, that would be helpful.
Yeah, this is where I have the note to fight Super Macho Man. You must be 27-0, but I can't find anything else to collaborate that, so I don't know why I didn't delete it. So now I'm giving wrong information, and Zodiac's going to yell at me, and I don't like when Zodiac yells at me.
It's all right. We'll get a correction, and then we can read it on the next episode.
I'm just going to delete all the instances of it. It's going to be like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's doing the interview from the Venus de Milo gummy there, and the clock keeps changing times. Yeah. Great edits. All right. So during the, this is one I found, and this was one I found in a video. It's during the Piston Honda and the Ball Bowl second fights for both of them. There's a bearded fan near the first row on the left side who will duck, or what they call a camera flash in some of them. It's just like a white dot that shows up. It signals that you can throw an instant body blow knockdown punch.
Oh, that's crazy. That's just like basically hitting B or A is the body blow, right? That's
and it happens specifically during one of their power moves.
Interesting.
So yeah, you follow that, and as soon as you see it, you hit the body blow button there, and that knocks them down.
I think that's so interesting that there's, in some ways, there's little tells in the audience that, like, you have to be aware of not only what the fighter is doing, but what is going on elsewhere in the screen to like perfect, some of these exploits.
Yeah, just little things like that in the game make it interesting, especially when it's not found out for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, like it's always been there, and then someone figures it out. It's nuts. It's so cool.
Next one is Mario, who was initially placed in the game without Nintendo's consent, and I believe that was back in the arcade version there. They just put a Mario lookalike, and Mario loves having their stuff used without their consent.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, it's like it's a guy with a hat and a mustache. Well,
it all worked out in the end, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he is wearing, I believe he's wearing referee stripes, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a dude with a mustache and a big nose. Whatever. I guess he does look pretty Mario-like. But then again, back in those days, I think the original arcade Punch-Out came out in like 1984, right?
Yeah, 83, 84.
Yeah, it's like every generic mustache man looked like Mario, and those in the graphics of that era.
I gotta look this up.
He's got a mustache. He's Mario automatically.
Tickety tack. Oh, hey, you can buy a Punch-Out arcade on sale for it says $11.45. That's a shit lie.
Ooh, is that a arcade 1-up? That would be kind of fun, actually.
No, it was just an arcade. Oh no, okay, no, I was incorrect. It was the Nintendo version that Nintendo version that used the Mario. They just kind of didn't tell them they were going to do it.
Oh, but it was at least it was a Nintendo game, and it wasn't like we're making our random arcade cabinet and sticking your character in it.
Here's the funny part: is Shigeru Miyamoto was the one who was the artist for the arcade game. So
interesting.
I don't know what to believe.
That's just really fishy. If he was involved in the arcade, then of course something looked like Mario in there. He made Mario.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Maybe the fact site I went to was mistaken, and I just saw it and I was like, ooh, fact with Mario. All right.
I call bullshit. That's urban legend.
Guess I'll start looking for 2 sources to make sure things line up from now on.
We're going to need to fact check and peer review our sources and make sure.
Yeah, call them up. Hey, Dick, are you telling the truth?
That's interesting, though. I wouldn't necessarily discount that. Wouldn't it be funny if they're like, "Hey, you took Mario and put him in your game, and you didn't ask us," and it's like, "Oh, wait,
but
Shigeru Miyamoto was working on it, and I guess he just decided to put it in there, and surprise."
Yeah, who knows? Well, also 1983, 84, classic Mario, as we know him, really wasn't there. He's still Jumpman, and I guess he was in Mario Brothers, but it didn't really look that much the same.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
all right, I got one last fact.
Yeah,
because we could die on this hill, and I want to get away from it.
Just be debating the nuances of the Mario lookalike referee.
Yeah.
Punch-Out.
All right. Final fact was Soda Popinski was originally called Vodka Drunkinski. but it
I
was
love it.
changed because of Nintendo's zero tolerance policy on alcohol and racism issues with the portrayal of Russian people.
So that's the racism we were worried about.
No, I'm pretty sure the racism we were worried about was the stereotypical looking characters like what's his name there, Great Tiger.
Yeah, Great Tiger was a little
yeah.
I think in the Wii version they changed a lot of these characters around so that they were just I don't know if they had the same names, but they definitely were not as reliant on stereotypes for their look.
I got a wiki open here and I'm just kind of taking a look at them. No, they didn't change that much.
Well, I know they changed Piston Honda's name, not because of anything. They just thought like they didn't want to piss off Honda.
Piston Hondo.
Yeah, Hondo, they changed it. They didn't want to get in any
Nobody's
trouble
gonna
with.
make the link.
Yeah.
Right.
Honda Motor Cars.
So why don't you give us your full thoughts on this, kind of go over everything in our little topic list there and kind of give a good summarizing.
Yeah, I'll summarize. Vodka Drunkinski is just great. It's like not even that clever.
No, it's not. It's just like, oh, I can't think of a good Russian name. Let's just throw Insky at the end of something.
Yeah, let's put ski at the end and make it about vodka somehow. I obviously played this extensively for the first time within the last week or so, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's a good game. The graphics for the time, 1987. So concurrently with stuff like, obviously Mario came out in 1985 for the Nintendo, but like 1987, we're talking Mega Man time frame, and I believe Castlevania was coming out around that time. It stands up to those games. It's graphically good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the animations were fun. We talked about the little interludes between the belts. Music is great. There's not a lot of it, but there's that jam when he's riding his bike.
Yeah, that's a great jam. That's going to go somewhere in this episode.
Oh, it has to. But there's really not that much other music when you're actually doing the fight. Is there music? I couldn't tell. I wasn't really focused on it.
There is. It's dun 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 dun.
So there's basically not music.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Which is fine. I think it would distract me.
Maybe it's such good music you didn't even notice it because I could swear there was.
Yeah, it was. It's weird. It was not remarkable. That's for sure. So I guess I'm glad that it wasn't really a standout because it would have distracted me from the fight.
Yeah, there's actually a fair amount of music in the game. It's just nothing I don't think is that big. Or sorry, that long is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good game. I'm not good at it, but I think it's one of those games you could play over and over again and still have fun with it and maybe get a little bit further each time. And
yep, absolutely.
Controls are great. They're nice and tight. It's just all you needed were those, the D-pad and those two buttons left and right. And, pushing forward gave you a like an uppercut or like a higher punch. And then back and B was your block, and left and right, A and B, just punching. That's all it was.
Yeah. I looked up a list while you were talking there of games that this sits in the same year as. You got Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, Zelda 2, Digital Devil's Story. Wow.
Interesting. Okay,
sorry,
so
that one was more for me. You have Mega Man, you have Wizard and Warriors, you have Final Fantasy, you have 3D Battles of World Runner, which I played not too long ago, which was absolute garbage, but I just figured I'd mention it. You have Dragon Quest 2. Like, this sits on a throne of many, many good games that came out that year. And I'm not even, I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah, and graphically it holds up. I like all the different character sprites, how some of them are big. They had little touches, little flares, and whatever. I liked
how the color palette was used, that nothing clashed and nothing stood out in the background.
Yeah, that too. I mean, things could easily have been either distracting or just kind of I don't know, like garish looking. It was nice. I don't know, not samey, but nothing too crazy with the colors.
Yeah, and the color palettes on the characters themselves were very pleasing. I don't know a better word to use than to say that. They're like nothing was where it shouldn't have been, and the boob bounce on Soda Popinski there was, or not Soda Popinski, Super Macho Man, sorry, was outstanding.
Super macho boobs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Frustrations is I'm bad at this game.
yeah. Well, get good or get wrecked, son.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, overall, like I have nothing that you've said that I can add to. Like I pretty much feel the exact same way about the game.
Yeah.
So well said. Well, way to take away the focus from me and put it all on you. Welcome to Sam's podcast.
That's what I do. Ride your coattails and take all the credit.
All right, so because you're so hoity-toity on yourself right now, why don't you go ahead and give it a score?
I'd give this like an 8.5. It's a great game. And it holds up. It's a game that you can have fun with. It's old and it's still fun today.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit lower. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it is fun. It is a pick up and play game, but it's not something I yearn for. So that's kind of where it loses a little bit. Like some old games I look at and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't played that in forever. This is not one of them. It is a game I will pick up if I'm bored, but
I could see myself coming back to this. It's a fun game.
I'll come back to it someday. Like I said, it's on Switch Online, like you said. So one day when I'm thumbing through looking for something quick, this will probably pop up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so as always, and every week, we give stuff a ranking on our tier list. And I've given my ranking. I've written it down there, which Sam is not looking at.
Yeah, I see it. But I agreed. I thought about this yesterday. This is definitely an A tier for me.
Yeah, absolutely. A tier game, sitting with the likes of Turtles in Time, SimCity, and Mega Man 2.
Yeah, that's good company. That's about where it should be.
Like I said, it's all because this game doesn't give me that yearning. Like I can pass by it and be like, I'm not in the mood for Punch Out today. But when I get in the mood for it, this game just holds up. 20, 30 years later.
Almost 40, man.
Almost 40. Jesus Christ, I'm old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you count the arcade one, for sure, 40. But yeah, even Punch Out, the console, like the home console version, the Mike Tyson's version, is almost getting close to 40.
We're getting close. I mean, I can't believe these cartridges have lasted that long.
Yeah, it's crazy because what is it? VHS tapes and cassette tapes and all that kind of stuff degrades over time, but these cartridges have really held up pretty well.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I can't afford it anymore because the price of cartridges has gone through the roof.
Yeah, and they really outlast the systems. Like your system is gonna croak well before your cartridge doesn't work, for sure.
Yeah, I have a Nintendo. I'm pretty sure needs a new set of pins sitting in my closet right now, and I've just been sitting on it because I don't feel like actually getting off my ass and seeing if it works.
Yeah, I mean, we talked. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, if it does, I can rebuild my Nintendo collection slowly over time.
That would be cool. Like, I was thinking about this because a few episodes back, as a lot of we talked about the Garbage Pail Kids game that was supposedly scrapped and then reinvigorated for within the last couple of years. But they did I don't know if it's a limited run or if you can just get one, but they made cartridges.
It's what do you call it? I am 8-bit.
Yeah, that company and other companies make reproduction cartridges that I mean they produce and sell them kind of illegally because they're taking copyright, but I've got a couple of them and they work just fine. And it's like, if you just want the cartridge and you don't care about the collector value and you just want a game that works in your old system, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, here's the only bad part is like they know this is a collector's edition, so it's costing $80.
Yeah,
just to buy this. And with the Garbage Pail Kids, you get like a red cartridge, and then you get 4 Garbage Pail. They're not really the cards; they're more the cards based on the game. So that's about it. I don't know. For me, that's not worth the value, but I guess if you're really a big fan of it, it is.
Yeah, that's kind of a high price, but like it's a cool item, and it's definitely neat that they're doing that again.
Well, it is.
Making
I am 8-bit is a really good place for looking for stuff. I think that I'm pretty sure that's where I bought the. I bought Sea of Stars physical from there.
I
So
believe I
it's
did too.
yeah, but
I
they
can't
also have
remember though.
records. Yeah, they also have records there, like from
Oh yeah,
just some video game soundtracks. I've been so tempted, even though they're like 45 bucks. But that'd be something I'd love to do is build a record collection.
oh, you got so much on your plate, man.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
All right, so with that, I think we've kind of killed our own conversation here, and I'm pretty sure everybody's already turned it off now,
yeah,
anyways.
we're like, what are they going to talk about? Punch Out more?
Yeah, well, we're pretty much done with Punch Out today, so that's the end of this episode 17 of Retrotopia. So what do we got coming up next week, Sam?
Next week, we are finally going to be talking about Final Fantasy 3, and I am so excited to talk about Final Fantasy 3.
Hoorah!
So, yeah, until next time, everybody, keep on gaming.